If you love a great hotel, you already know that the right property can make or break your trip. But hotel prices in Europe seem to climb higher every year. The room that once felt like a reasonable splurge is now the starting rate. And that luxury property that you once dreamed of staying at is now astronomically out of your budget. So how do you find a beautiful, well-located hotel with the amenities that you want without paying an outrageous rate? In this video, I'll show you my step-by-step process for finding the best hotel for your budget, including exactly how I search for hotels and the strategies I use to avoid overpaying. Hi, I'm Angela, and 7 years ago, I moved from the US to Europe. Ever since, I've been traveling throughout this great continent and writing about it on my blog, Notes from Europe. If this is your first time joining me, be sure to subscribe for more Europe travel videos just like this every week. And if you stay until the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing something that will help you to get better service and more value from your hotel stay, no matter the nightly rate. There are just a couple things that you're going to want to do before you even start to search for that hotel to maximize the opportunity of finding the best property. Now, the first one is you want to choose the best dates for your trip. Now, I understand that for some of you, maybe everything is already decided. I will make this quick if that's the case for you. But the number one tip for saving money on hotels is to travel during the shoulder season or low season. Research shows that the months of January and November generally have the lowest hotel prices. Perhaps unsurprisingly, summer and holiday or December hotel prices are on the high end. Perhaps counterintuitively, the best time to book your hotel differs depending on what season you're actually staying in. If your stay is during the high season, booking early is actually best because those prices are going to continue to climb anyway. If you wait to book a hotel in high season, you're more likely to run out of inventory than to find some great deal. On the other hand, if your stay is during low season, or shoulder season, then booking closer to the check-in date will actually make it more likely that you can find better prices or deals. Another thing that you should keep in mind when you're planning your trip is to consider the local calendar. Local and regional holidays vary by country, so always do your research on your destination. But it's not just holidays. You also want to be aware of major trade fairs, festivals, and major sporting events, as these can also cause hotel prices to spike. Once you've settled on your dates, the next thing that you want to do is you want to identify your trip's center of gravity. I've talked about this in a few other videos before, but if you're traveling to a European capital, staying in the wrong part of town is not just a minor inconvenience. It can be a huge, huge headache. My favorite example of this is in Berlin, which is a very large city, so large that it sometimes overwhelms visitors. But if you are planning to see a lot of things in Mitte or on the eastern side of town, and yet you book a hotel in Charlottenburg or something on the west side of town, you are going to be spending hours trying to cross town. So that's why it's always a great idea to just sketch out where you're going to be traveling or what are the attractions that you're going to try to see while you're in that city. I personally love to do this with like Google My Maps, right? So if you're going to Paris, you can go into Google My Maps. You can add little pin drops to all of the things that you plan to see, whether that's the Louvre or just a special restaurant or a few shops. And that's a really great way to get a quick view of all of the places that you want to be in town. Not only will it help you to avoid staying at the opposite end of where the majority of your trip is going to be taking place, but it might also help you to identify special hotels that you wouldn't have considered before that are quite close to where you're going to be anyway. If you're not a fan of Google My Maps, another way to kind of locate your trip's center of gravity is by using AI. So you can use one of these AI systems from ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and just type in a list of all of the places that you plan to be. We're going to go to the Louvre. We're going to go to Arc de Triomphe. Just a list. It doesn't have to be super detailed, and then ask the AI for a recommendation of what part of town you should stay in and what part of town you should avoid. Now, I did this video here about the pitfalls and perils of using AI to plan your trip, but this is actually one application where it can really help you quite quickly to figure out a good part of town to stay in. Once you have a sense of the best neighborhoods to start looking in for your hotel, and a few of the ones to avoid, the next thing that you want to do before hitting the booking page is you want to kind of think about the amenities that are must-haves or deal breakers so that you can be kind of clear about what you're looking for in a hotel. Now, I know a lot of people sometimes treat a hotel stay as just a place to sleep, but I really do think that you should take advantage of some of the amenities that hotels can offer, especially because they are becoming so expensive that you need to capture some sort of value from these stays. So if you are dedicated to your fitness routine and you don't want to be disrupted by your vacation, on-property gym is a great example of an amenity that might be a deal breaker for you. We want to stay at a hotel that has a gym. If the purpose of your trip is to really relax and unwind, maybe you absolutely need to stay at a property that has a great spa. A couple other ones that you might want to look out for. I think the cost of hotel breakfast has really gone up and it's gotten quite exorbitant, but this is another way where you can extract some value from your stay. So maybe you're just going to look for a hotel that offers hotel included with the room rate. So really spend some time thinking about that. The other one I would call out is if you are traveling from city to city, or if you're doing something like a road trip, obviously parking might be an important amenity for you, right? So really put some thought into that, because once you start the search, it's just going to be overwhelmed. There are going to be a lot of things pulling your attention, including pricing, which might make you a little anxious. So it's just really good to be very clear before you start that process what those essential amenities are. All right, so now we've got our dates, we've got clarity on where we want to stay, and the kind of amenities that will make this trip the best it can be. The next step is to actually begin the search. Over the years, I've used a lot of different tools for hotel searches. Actually, in the US, I used to use the hotel search on Google Maps quite a lot. But fun fact, as a result of some antitrust something, here in Europe, you can't actually use that Google Hotel View. So I've had to get into the habit of using booking.com. Anyway, the point that I would like to impress upon you is that whatever resource you're going to use to look for hotels, it should have a wide array of inventory. There's nothing worse than searching on one platform and then having to go and search on another platform because the first one doesn't have enough inventory. So this is why I love booking.com. It has kind of everything. Even if you're not really here for hotels, if you're looking for a short-term stay, it has a whole inventory of short-term rentals as well. So let's get into booking.com. The first thing you want to do is navigate to the home screen. I'll include a link down below. You're going to enter your destination and your dates, as well as the correct number of travelers. Don't forget about solo rooms. Now, if you are traveling by yourself, you want to make sure that it says one traveler here. A lot of people let the default number of 2 travelers stay in this field. But if you're traveling by yourself, go ahead and set it to 1. Here in Europe, we have a lot of hotels that have single rooms, twin rooms, or even queen single rooms that are designed just for 1 guest. And that is oftentimes one of the best hacks to stay at amazing properties, is to stay in some of these single rooms, solo rooms. Hotels don't have a ton of them, so it's going to be better if you're booking far in advance to find these rooms. But this is one of my favorite ways of getting a better hotel rate or being able to stay at a more luxurious property than what my budget might allow, is to stay at a solo room. Once you hit enter on that information, you are going to see the results page, and it will be overwhelming. But luckily, Booking.com has a stellar array of filters, and I'm talking about a crazy amount of filters. I typically filter for hotel-only listings because I don't really want to stay at a short-term rental. So that will return just hotel listings. I also really love the Booking.com review score. So they give you an aggregate of all of the feedback from previous guests. And I think that that's a really fantastic way to find properties that offer exceptional stays. Just as a quick note, here in Europe, we have the star system. You can stay in a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, but that does not correspond to the quality of the stay. Those are related to the amenities that are offered. And if you stay at enough hotels, you will have a few experiences with what are called faux stars or faux 5 stars. Great example of this is a property that has a on-property restaurant so that they can qualify as a 4-star hotel, but that restaurant is like never open. It's open for breakfast, but then never again. And you'll find a lot of properties that kind of skirt the rules so that they can qualify for a higher star rating than what they're really giving. And those stars are about amenities, what's on offer, not about the experience or how guests would rate it. So this is a really fantastic one to actually get the review score. Depending on the destination, if there's a ton of inventory, I may set that to 9. If there's not a ton of inventory, then I'll say like I want just the listings above a review score of 8. Like I mentioned before, there are some other filters that you may want to put here that correspond to those amenities that you need to have. So this could be things like breakfast included, air conditioning, if you need parking, but I would recommend that you play around with this because Booking.com has a ton of filters. Another thing, remember we talked about your trip's center of gravity? For that, use the map view. This is going to allow you to see where all of these hotels are relative to their neighborhood, to the map. Sometimes a little trick that I'll do is I will be searching on the map view of Booking.com and I will just pull up, again, the Google My Map that I created with my own trip of kind of some of the things that I plan on doing during that trip, just so that I can kind of compare like, okay, where are some of my activities and plans taking place versus where are some of these hotels. When I get super into the details of the map view, I will sometimes also get so granular that I am looking at properties that are maybe a little further outside of the center of town if they are conveniently located to public transportation. So I will say that if you're traveling in high season and you're looking for a deal, there are like not many to be found. Sometimes you can like deliberately stay a little bit outside of the center if there's a great transit connection. So that's sometimes a good way to maybe find a better rate, but you need to be really clear that it's a convenient subway route or transit route, that it has plenty of trains going there, and you need to accept that you're going to be traveling a little bit more. But that's really kind of the benefit of map view, being able to see where that location is and how it could potentially fit into your overall trip. As I'm doing this, if I'm coming across a few properties, I will start to kind of create this short list. So I will create a short list, typically of like 3 to 4 hotels that I like the look of. They have good reviews. The amenities match with what I'm looking for in my stay. And that short list is really then what I will use to start comparing, like, okay, what am I going to eventually book? The major thing that I'm going to be doing with that short list though is these are the properties where I'm convinced maybe this could be the one, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to spot check the recent reviews. Sometimes hotels are purchased and their sterling wonderful reviews are purchased and the new operator is not as good. Sometimes it looks like a great rating and it's actually not, or sometimes you read something in a guest review that makes you say, oh my God, absolutely not. So it's always a good idea to just spot check a recent guest review just to see what they're saying. I will tell you that ever since the pandemic, there are a lot of negative reviews about service. That's quite common to see. Perhaps I sometimes give those a pass, especially if I'm just doing a quick weekend trip, because service has been difficult in the hospitality industry for a few years now. But if you see anything about room cleanliness or functionality of rooms, a story about somebody, I don't know, having to deal with a broken shower and nobody fixed it, those are really the things that should concern you. Just keep that in mind. If you come across one that says, you know, the front desk staff was rude to me, that's maybe not as severe as something like the shower didn't work for 4 days. Just my take. But if you are not 100% convinced that that is the hotel you're going to stay at, but you want to have something booked just to be sure, then this is a little trick that you can do. You can opt for a free cancellation rate and then keep shopping. So sometimes you do the search and you're not really happy with what you have found, or you're still on the hunt for a better rate. One thing that you can do in Booking.com, they have a filter for this. You can actually find a free cancellation rate. And then if something better comes along before the cancellation date, you can actually go ahead and cancel that reservation and then rebook into something that's a little bit better. Now, regardless if you're using this free cancellation trick, you really need to be clear on what the terms and conditions of your stay are. That means, are they going to be taking any sort of deposit or charging your card immediately? Are they going to charge your card in the next couple of weeks? Just be really clear that you know when they're going to be charging your card. You'll always find really great rates that are pay in full, non-refundable, because that is a trick, a pricing trick that the hotel is using to really get you confirmed and locked into staying at their property. So just be mindful of that. If you are not fully sold on this property, just go ahead and book something that would allow you to cancel later. I know for some people it feels like, why am I spending more money when I'm probably going to stay there anyway? But things happen and flexibility is valuable. So don't be afraid to pay a little bit more for something that you can cancel later. All right, now I want to know, what is your secret for finding a great hotel rate? Are you using booking.com? Are you sticking with the Google Map View search? I would love to hear what it is that you're doing to find great hotels. Maybe you're part of a loyalty program and you're only staying there. Regardless, I would love to hear how it is that you're finding your hotels. So drop your comment in the comments below. I read every single one, and I know that it helps all of the other viewers of this video when viewers give their own feedback. All right, now that you're finally ready to make your hotel reservations, it's also a good idea to download Hello Hotel. This is my set of free email templates that help you communicate your preferences and special requests to your hotel before your stay. It's the best way to get better service and more value from your hotel stay. You'll find the link to Hello Hotel in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more Europe travel videos every week. Want to hang out a little bit longer? Then I would recommend watching these videos next.